I had competitions. I had to be guided. I needed boosters. I needed shoulders. I needed all of them. But as a saying, later in a magazine I read, 1,000 miles of journey begins with a single step. When I read this, I was so happy as it tallied all my bow needs. But I was unable to understand what that saying was. Life is a circle and we all have aims to achieve. We keep running from our childhood and achieve when we are young and enjoy them in our older days. Greetings to everyone. This is KRITHIKA, a 9th grader from KRMPublicSchool, Chennai, India, here to give my TED talk. When I am repairing my cycle, I use lots of tools like spanner, hammer, screws. Using all these, I repair my cycle. The same way, even you. When human wants to achieve their goal, they implement lots of hard work, smart work and intelligence. Implementing all these, they achieve their goal. Now, we all need some boosters, right? Like if a car needs to travel, it needs fuel. Same way cycle has a mechanism. Humans also need some particular booster to boost them up. And what would be those boosters? Do you all have any guesses? What you sow, so shall you reap. Make hay while the sun shines. Practice makes a man perfect. All that glitters is not gold. Empty vessels make the most noise. Hope you all would have guessed it. Yes, these boosters are proverbs. Here, I would like to introduce my topic of the day, Proverbs to re-energize. What are proverbs? Proverbs are single-line sentences that suit us. These are short forms of our early generation experience. Proverbs revolve around us in our day-to-day activities and travel in each and every part of our livelihood. Even our elders use these proverbs to correct us. But most of the time, we all are given advices. And we all hate advices because nothing wrong with the word, but it's hard to hear. And so, we all hate advices. But in truth, advice contains a single sentence called proverb. Now, which one would you all choose? Of course, proverb is what we all choose. The current situation is something unexpected. None of the students thought that they will be able to acquire education from home. Or none of the employees thought work from home is the only option. None of the businessmen knew that their shops would be closed for more than 6 months. Or none of the schools expected that their schools would be shut down for more than 10 months. But we all took lots of precautionary methods. Even today, before I enter my school, I took lots of precautionary methods. Because we all know that our granny's proverbs say, prevention is better than cure. As soon as I say this proverb, I remember one particular comic incident which was shared with me. A boy took lots of medicines and he lay ill. When his mother investigated how he fell ill, he said he took lots of medicines. But with nothing to cure or nothing to prevent, just because of his foolishness, he lay down on the bed. Now, how are proverbs boosters to humans' goal? Because they are boosters, shall we drink them? There are 1,000 different proverbs in the world mixed up with various different languages. Now, I would like to share some of my experience on how I became fond of proverbs. My first experience. My dad has a 4-wheeler, a 2-wheeler and a cycle. But he always chooses a cycle to travel to his office. I always wonder why he does so. And my curiosity increased when all my dad's colleagues started to follow him. I asked my dad, "Dad, why do you choose your cycle to travel to your office?" And my dad told me, "Health is wealth." He told me when he travels to his cycle to his office, he is healthy and active the whole day. As well, he told me how important cycling is for him to maintain himself fit. Then I understood one thing. Having a healthy and fit body is the best wealth we all have. second experience. I asked my mother, "Mom, I want to improve in my academics." And my mother told me, "Wake up early." I was totally confused. How being studious and waking up early in the morning, does it have any connection? But the next day, my mother was very curious and very conscious in waking me up. With loads and loads of difficulties, she woke me up. But as soon as she left the room, I started to sleep again. Few days later, I was able to wake up early. But if you give me a book in my hand, one eye would fall on the book or the book would fall on my face. Few weeks later, I was able to wake up early in the morning. But again, I was not able to read books. But something interestingly, I was able to enjoy the early morning nature. The cool breeze, the translucent sun rays made me to turn over my newspaper pages. Gradually, I started to take lots of storybooks during my bedtime. Of course, you would have guessed it, I took them for my bedtime storybooks. But of course not. I took them for my early morning studies. Then gradually, it became a habit for me to complete all my academic works early in the morning. Once I complete them, I had abundant time left with me the whole day, due to which I learned a new hobby called crocheting, in which in the upcoming days I am going to perform a Guinness World Record. My mother observed all the changes occurring in me, and she said me, "Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise." She said me, "Early morning studies improves your concentration. As well, you do not become studious, you also become skillful." My third experience. My mother worked as a professor and resigned the job to take care of myself and my sister. She cooks the whole day, takes care of us and tries to learn something new and initiative that particular day. And my mother owns 4 gold medals in top universities. When I asked this question to my mother, "Mom, how was this possible?" And my mom told me, "Aim is time," an own proverb by her. She said me, "Aim is what we want to achieve, which can be completed through time. When both are compensated equally, we can achieve things." My fourth experience. I know everyone would have experienced the same in this pandemic, sitting all day bored at home with nothing to improve in physical fitness or mental skills. Myself and my friends and neighbor started to play with lots of social distancing and precautionary methods. One fine day, we were playing inside the park and I parked my cycle out of the park. After we finished playing, I realized one thing: I lost my cycle key. I tried to push the cycle, pull the cycle, nor open the lock, nor lift it. But nothing was possible. Then my friends approached me. I explained them what had happened, and they, just by lifting, parked the cycle safe in my home. Then I realized one thing: as an individual, I was unable to complete the task, but as a group with lots of unity, we completed the task, which made me to remember of one particular proverb which often my grandma says, "Unity is strength." Yes friends, all these 4 experiences were even new to me when I experienced. All had learnings and added experience to me, and all gave me new conclusions. Interestingly, they had proverbs in their part. This is what made me fond of proverbs and the same to deliver on the stage. One fine day, my mother started to cook seafoods, and after an hour she finished cooking, I said my mom, "Mom, I'm on a seafood diet." My mom said, "Oh, perhaps just now I finished cooking." Then, when it was time to lunch, I was the first person to rush to the dining table. My mother astonishingly asked me, "You said you are on a seafood diet?" I said my mom, "Of course, Mom, I'm on a seafood diet. I see and have it." Of course, my mom laughed. Yes, friends, this is how I often make jokes and crack jokes with others, which enlightens life. Now, I would like to share some of the points on how can you choose your proverb. My first point: choose proverbs that make sense from your real life experience. When I was 8, I had the interest to learn cycling. As well, I worked hard to learn cycling. But you know how difficult it is to learn cycling in the main road of the city. Slowly I started to learn cycling in the parks, and once I was skillful in cycling, I started to ride them on the roads. This made me remember of one particular proverb which often my teacher quotes during her class: practice makes a man perfect. Even though my teacher quotes this in her class hours, I just take it as a wording. But when it came from a real life experience, I was able to understand what this proverb was and what it was up to deliver. As well, I learned how to implement the same in my real life. My second point is, when my sister was 7 years old, she was gifted a piggy bank, and at the age of 8, she started to save money in it. Today, she has a bank account where she is able to save all her piggy bank amount. How did this idea pop up in her mind? Yes, this was through a proverb: little drops of water forms the mighty ocean. Now, I would like to reveal my second point, which is proverbs do not change, they relate events. The proverb little drops of water forms mighty ocean gave my sister a new conclusion. On her basis, little drop is the piggy bank amount and the bank account is the ocean. Yes friends, this is how it related to events but never changed. Misunderstanding of proverbs. Of course, this is what would have popped up in everyone's mind when I say the word proverbs. Even these misunderstandings happened in my life, but when I was 3 years old. Often my grandma used to talk with me with proverbs. Then just guess how it would not be possible. The first proverb which I misunderstood was, every cloud has a silver lining. I misunderstood the proverb as the proverb itself says. But the funniest part is, I started to search all the newspapers, magazines, search engines, and trouble my parents and teachers to know at least one particular cloud has a silver lining. But as you all know, I failed in it because none of the cloud has a silver lining. But the actual meaning of the proverb is, every unpleasant and negative situation has something positive in it. The second proverb is, even my sister misunderstands proverbs, so I would like to share one of them. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. My sister, whenever she feels sick, she starts to eat apple. And as soon as she recovers, she starts to put up lots of questions like, if an apple can cure, then why do people aim to become doctors? We used to console her by saying all the diseases cannot be cured by apple, and that's why people aim for doctor. But the actual meaning for the proverb is, when you regularly intake apple, you can avoid the doctor as much as possible. Of course, laughter is what left with me. And importantly, whenever I see an apple, I get lots of laughter because of my sister. Proverbs define path to journey. Proverbs do not stick in relating any one particular situation of life. They travel lifelong, which 86% of people from my survey have accepted. Proverbs direct you. When you see a new person and judge them that they will not be able to do so or they cannot, then the proverb, don't judge the book by its cover, reminds you that you are on a wrong path. 75% of people from my survey have accepted. Proverbs are funny, yet highlight important points to life. To quote one, when an opportunity knocks door, do not complain about the noise. 81% of people from my survey have accepted. On the whole, friends, proverbs guide you, direct you, gives you lots of positive vibes which mostly I have experienced in my life. Proverbs is the simplest form of mature living, not only for self but of the whole society. I was enjoying and enjoyed. Hope you too. Last, I would conclude my talk by saying my most favorite proverb: opportunity will not knock until you build doors. I had the knowledge, stage gave me the opportunity. Thank you.